even behind prison bars, the news had reached our ears. The annual Passover was approaching. Now, the feast itself, it held really no interest to me. After all, my days of being a good Jew were long gone. Now, what interested me was a curious custom started by the Romans in order to appease the population. It was a curious custom indeed. You see, every year at Passover, the Romans would select one Jewish prisoner to be released and thus settling the masses for a few months. Never in a million years did I think that I would be a candidate to such undeserved freedom. After all, undeserved was really an understatement. You see, in my hatred for Rome, I led an insurrection in which 37 of those Roman pigs, they died. So now, I await my inevitable fate. At any moment, I could be summoned to be crucified. You see, any time I hear the sound of Roman footsteps, I prepare myself for death. And so the time came. My cell door creaked open by the hand of a smirking centurion, and I was sure to be led to Golgotha, the place of the stone, where the ground is stained red by the blood of hundreds crucified before me. But you know what? I was led to a different place, to an unfamiliar place. And soon, I was before the balcony of Pontius Pilate himself. It was then that I realized that I was one candidate of those possibly to be released. That heart that raised only moments before, it sank when I saw who they had brought to my right hand. For it was Jesus, the Nazarene, though I knew him to be much, much more. For I had seen both him and his works on many occasions. You see, I was there at the pool of Siloam when a blind man came stumbling in, his eyes with mud from Jesus' spit. He plunged his face into the waters and came up laughing, for his eyes could now see. I was there when a woman caught in the very act of adultery was thrown before Jesus. In fact, I knew that woman all too well. The vicious crowd, they were prepared to stone her. Then Jesus, he stooped down. He wrote something on the ground. And then he declared, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." One by one, they all walked away in shame. And it's like I can feel the forgiveness when Jesus, he looked into the woman's eyes and he said, "Nor do I condemn you. Now go and sin no more." If there was somebody who deserved to be released, it would be him, not me. So Pilate, he inquired of the crowd, "Who shall I release?" he said, never thinking I would hear my name. Then out of the breath of the crowd, I heard a whisper, "Barabbas." And then soon the whole crowd started screaming out, "Barabbas, Barabbas, 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 Barabbas!" So I was set free. I will forever be grateful. Not to Pilate, not to the crowd, but to Jesus, for he stood in my very place and he died for my sin. I did not deserve it. No. That day I was free. Not once, but twice. First, I was set free from my physical prison. Then, I was set free from the prison of my sin. For it was on that very day that I became a follower of Jesus.